Hello everyone, Johnny Hurricane here from GamersHeroes.com, and why don't you sit back, relax, and let me tell you about Indivisible. And just so we're all clear, a review code was provided by the publisher. Indivisible follows the journey of Ajna, a feisty rebellious teen used to the quiet trappings of village life. With her only duty to attend training under her watchful father, she's argumentative, lacks understanding, and is entirely convinced she knows everything. The perfect teenager. It doesn't take long for Ajna's way of life to fall under threat as the evil warlord Ravananar's forces burn her village to the ground, laying the foundations for a journey of vengeance and redemption. Following the catastrophe, Ajna wakes up with the rather peculiar ability of absorbing potential allies. Not so much in a Majin Buu kind of way, a more friendlier absorption that lets your allies accompany you on your journey, all while living a fruitful existence in Ajna's inner mind. Indivisible is everyone's most hated poker player. It goes all in, straight from the word go. Immediately after beginning the game, you're exposed to a level of artistic quality and execution seldom seen in the fast and frantic style of today's industry. The game looks gorgeous, from the characters to the animations and the environments. Every step of the journey is charming, heartwarming, and filled to the brim with character. Much of the same can be said about the soundtrack. It is expertly crafted by Hiroki Kikuta, and is arguably some of his best work. If based on artistic merit alone, it would be tough to criticize Indivisible's carefully crafted and passionately wrapped package. You'll struggle to find something as visually and audibly complete as Indivisible. Alas, there's more to this glorious pudding than just the sweet icing on the top. Dragging my finger through the top layer and taking that first satisfying lick immediately set my expectations soaring, and stepping into the wider world didn't totally disappoint. Indivisible's platforming elements are solid and all of the correct ingredients are there. The controls are fluid, responsive, and most importantly, accurate. Platforming aspects evolve and grow throughout the journey, adding more complexity and challenges to navigation as you progress. While screwing up the final jump in a complex labyrinth of calculations and split-second decisions is frustrating, sometimes massively frustrating, the gratifying feeling of satisfaction when you finally pull it off makes every difficult hurdle failed and every jump miscalculated worth every attempt. Much of the game shies away from the more complicated aspects of platforming, opting instead to challenge a player with combat and exploration, but rarely do these aspects compared to the thrill of the run and jump. Indivisible leads the charge for the genre in terms of its delivery, challenge, and artistic design, but it's not afraid to step away from the traditional staples of the genre. Combat arrives in two distinct phases. The real-time action element takes place as you explore, running through new areas, leaping to new heights, and taking swipes at anything in your path. Once engaged with the enemy, the almost turn-based style of combat comes into play. The party consists of 4 unique characters, with each character corresponding to a main button on the controller. Mashing square several times will cause the character assigned to that spot to do several basic attacks, but mixing it up with up and down attacks delivers different strikes, allowing for individual combos on a per-character basis. This system truly shines when you begin to experiment with the different characters' abilities to combo with the other characters, often delivering a massive combo attack and huge damage numbers. While its visuals and style may lean more towards a turn-based style of RPG games, it's closer to a core fighting game, stringing together attacks and combinations with quick reflexes and muscle memory. Indivisible also houses some Metroidvania-style progressive challenges. As you explore through one of the game's several regions, you'll encounter ledges that are a little too high and jumps that are a bit too far. However, as you continue further in the journey, you will unlock new exploration abilities that let you reach previously inaccessible areas. While the concept is solid, and one that I fell in love with during Bloodstained, the delivery is poor, often frustrating, and lacking in any meaningful incentive. A lack of a worthwhile fast travel adds a lot of needless travel time between areas. There's a lot of backtracking, a lot, taking away from the game's charm and character as the smiles and glee of discovery quickly replaced by frustration of repetition. Spending 15 minutes to return to an area that was previously inaccessible was never once rewarding or enjoyable. I'd forgo the main story or a side quest in favor of returning to a path once traveled, only to find that initial jump was followed by another required ability I'd yet to learn, or the reward was a single gem. Though these are eventually used to increase attack and defense, they're never enough to make it worthwhile. The same level of frustration returns towards the latter stages of the game as you're forced to explore 3 previously explored areas to reach the same location as the first time. In a game that houses so much character and warmth, it felt tacky and needless. It proves to be something rushed in a game that feels painstakingly crafted to a fine detail. If there's one thing that makes the frustrating elements of Indivisible that much more bearable, it's the characters. There's a huge roster of characters you can unlock, each either offering a new skill or a combo opportunity in combat, or valuable tools in your inner sanctum. These include sparring practice or dyeing clothes, along with upgrades from the gems. Mechanical reasons aside, these are some of the most engaging, entertaining, and most lovable characters I've seen in years. One character in particular, Rosmi, has quickly taken place at my round table of excellence. She's somber, often miserable, always sarcastic. There's just a perfect collection of traits and excellent level of voiceover delivery that really makes her shine through an already impressive roster of personalities. Indivisible is a great game, but it could have been amazing. The lack of weapons, armor, or other collectible items to make exploration worthwhile really makes a lot of the adventure a bit dull, and the repetitive nature of its level design definitely leaves a sour taste. Many of these issues will be off-putting enough for potential players, but if you can look past the seemingly basic design mistakes, Indivisible's level of charm, passion, and character are rarely seen in this genre. Alright, that'll do it for me. If you liked what you saw and got what you needed, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Later, Gators!